Hey guys, how you doing? It's Andy Elliott. So you more than likely have already purchased the weekly Crush It planner, okay? If you haven't purchased it, you can send me a text message, 918-210-0254, and I can get you a copy of this. You can purchase one, okay? A lot of people are buying 10 or 15 at a time so they can use them all year long. Let me explain this. I don't have a problem selling you the PDF to this. Okay, where you can print it out on your copy machine, cut it out, and then use it weekly, but you're not gonna use it. When I sold, I like to hold something in my hand. You see this right here? This is a nice weekly Crush It planner book. This right here covers everything that you could possibly want to cover to make sure that every week that you sell cars, you destroy it and hold yourself accountable. Let me ask you a question. How do you know if you need the weekly Crush It planner? Well, it's real easy. Let me ask you a question. How much money are you worth an hour? I want you to answer that right now. Everybody take a pen and a piece of paper, whether you have already purchased this or not. I want you to take a pen and a piece of paper, and I want you to write it down. Don't do any math. Just write it down. How much are you worth an hour? Go ahead. All right. Let's say that you said you were worth $100 an hour, $50 an hour, $25 an hour, whatever it is. I want to ask you another question. How many hours do you work a week? Go ahead, just be honest with yourself. How many hours do you work a week? Do you work 55 hours a week? Do you work 70 hours a week? Whatever it is, just write it down. Okay, now let's do some math. I want you to take your phone. I want you to pause the video. And I want you to do, no, don't pause it yet. You got to listen to what I want to say. Take the hours that you work, which is if you say 70 hours a week, and you said you were worth $25 an hour. Take 70 hours a week times 25, and that's going to give you an amount. Take that amount, and that's how much you should be making each week. And then I want you to do times 52 weeks in a year. So take the hour that you said you were worth times the hours that you said that you work a week, and that's going to equal a number. And take that number and times it times 52 weeks in a year. Now, what does that equal per year? How much is that? If it comes out to be $202,000 a year, are you making $202,000 a year? If you are, good job. If you're not, and you're tracking to make $80,000 this year, you think that you're worth X amount per hour in your head, but the reality is you're not worth that. What you're working to think that you're worth is $202,000 a year in earnings. What you're really worth is $80,000 a year in earnings. So how do we fix it? It's real simple. You invest in a weekly attack planner, not a monthly, but a weekly attack planner. There are none out there. And you can go find a planner anywhere. But you can't find a planner that was built for the 2020 era, made for car salespeople, and done and used by a person that made $700,000 a year doing it. By the way, it's not the value that I have, it's the value that I add in your life. I don't need your money. What I need you to do is break the freaking bank and get your full potential, what you're worth. That little deal that we just did on the hourly, I should be able to ask anybody, any point, anytime, say, hey, how much are you worth an hour? And you say, Andy, I'm worth $37 an hour. I know exactly what I'm worth. And I want to be able to ask you every single week what you are worth. Don't worry about how much you're worth for the year. That's impossible to manage. You need to manage week by week, 52 weeks in a year. And the most important question you can ask yourself is not how much you make in a month. Not any of that, but the most important, how much are you worth an hour? When you go to work, you trade your time for money. So, is it possible to trade your time for 3 times, 5 times, or 10 times more the money? Yeah. This will get you there, okay? So let's walk through the book together, all right? So if you already have it, open your books and let's go through it. And by the way, if you don't have this, shoot me a text message, 918-210-0254. You can buy one of these for $29. We will mail it to your front door and you can start jamming with it. You can buy a 4-pack right now for $89, and guess what? That would be basically paying for 3 and I give you one for free. So that would last you for 1 whole month. And if you could spend $89 in a month and guarantee that the success of an entire month, you're dialed on every single day, $89 could make you an extra $20,000 if you do it right. Again, you trade your time for money. How much are you worth an hour? I can double it just like that. So this is going to be your book. Check it out. Let's open it. And by the way, as we go through it, the first page you're going to get into, and I'm going to explain to you what I believe that took me to the next level, which I believe in turn will do the same thing for you, is number one, what is this book about? This book right here, as you read your first pages, this book talks about the 52 weeks. It talks about gauging how much you're worth an hour. I want you to read this really thoroughly right here, okay? But this isn't the plan. This just gets you ready and explains what this book is, okay? As you go into the second page and you open it up, you're going to go into my top 20 motivational quotes that I use and that I run on every single day, okay? And I'm not gonna read them to you, but I wanna go over it with you. I believe that every day, the battle is won before the day begins, okay? So, how's my mindset before I go into battle to sell? Well, it's important. So I want you to find and highlight your top 20, okay? And we rotate these out all the time, but I wanna tell you that these 20, these are my favorite, the ones that I still look at every single day. You'll love these. These are awesome. This is motivation. It's page 2. My favorite quotes. All right, now we get into page 3. This is where we get into the game plan. This is big, okay? So when you open this from here, you're gonna get into, right here, let me just show you some things, okay? Let me slide over here. We're gonna get into how many days that you're gonna work this month, okay, total. You're gonna get into the working days in the month, right? Which is, so let me give an example of what I mean. This is important. So let's say in March, there's 31 days in a month, 31 total days. Let's say your dealership is only open 6 days. Well, guess what? So you take out Sundays because you're closed, and then guess what? Even though there's 31 days in the month, there's 26 selling days in the month, which are available days for you to walk into work and sell. But now you do take a day off during the week, right? Let's just say that that's what you do. And I hope that you do. You need time with your family. You take that day out, and now that leaves you with 22 total selling days. So on the working days in the month, you would put 26 because there's 26 working days. Not days, working days. Days I'll work this month would be 22. All right, this is my 90-day unit average. You don't know where you're at, you don't know where you're going. You need to know where you're at. Don't think that you know how many cars that you're averaging if you don't know your 90-day average. It's not how many you sold last month, it's how many you sold over the whole period of time. If you sold 25 cars in December, if you sold 20 cars, in January, and then you sold 15 in February, you're a 20-car hand, okay? Put your 90-day unit average. Okay, now we're gonna get into some good stuff here in a second. This is just the basics to get you started out. So you can start to understand your numbers so people don't plan to fail, they fail to plan. You can make a good plan. My 90-day money average. Now this isn't an hourly yet, we're not into that. I just wanna know what you're worth. If you made $12,500 in December, and then you made $10,000 in January, and then you made $7,500 in February, you're a $10,000 hand. You're not a $12,500 hand. People usually choose the biggest number and the most that they've made, and they choose to discount and forget the small months. We need to average it. Do your 90-day average. Okay. The total customers needed for the week to be successful. Okay. I love that. Okay. You need to figure out what's the total number that you need for the week. So let me give you an example. So if you said, I have, and then below it, it says, and I'll give you an example. Let me read it to you first. My total customers needed for the week to be successful, what I need my closing ratio at to be successful, the commission per car I need to make to hit my target, and how many cars I need to hit my bonuses. So these are all a little bit different questions, but let me explain to you what they mean. So the total number of customers needed, let's say that you want to sell 20 cars this week. Just give me an example, think big, right? And we're just using round numbers. The total customers that you would need to get if your closing ratio below it was 20%, and the closing ratio probably needs to come before the customers. So let's say my closing ratio is 20% and I want to sell 20 cars this week. I would have to talk to 100 people that week. So to close at 20%, I would sell 20 cars. If I wanted to be an average commission of $100 per commission, which that's thinking small, but I'm just telling you, like, I'm using round math. Well, 20 cars sold, $100 per commission, that would be $2,000 made. If your goal was to make $2,000 in a week, then you would want to make $100 per commission. So you'd want to focus on that average for the 20 cars sold, and it would have to take 100 customers to get there. Also, how many cars I need to hit my bonuses. A lot of you guys have unit bonuses in your store. You need to understand on a weekly level how many cars you need to sell per week to stay on track to hit that unit bonus. And don't figure it out to the T. Always raise the target by 2. So even if you hit 1 short, you're still going to win, okay? Never put it dead on the deadline. Increase the target, right? Never lower the target. Increase the action. Now we're going to get into the action. These are just some things that you have to fill out, because if you don't know where you're at, you don't know where you're going, okay? This is going to be this month's goal. Now watch, this is this month's goal. The second you get this planner, you're sitting here, you're like, all right, this is what I want to do. This is the total money I want to make. This is how many cars I want to sell. This is the target average commission per deal that I want to hit. Like, hey, I want to hit 500 a commission. I want to do 20 car deals. You know what I'm saying? You got the math in your head and you know exactly where you want to be. This is your goal setting. This isn't your action yet, okay? The total customers needed for the month to hit my target. You need to know what that total number is, because if you fall behind 1 week, the next week, which will be the next weekly planner, you're going to pick it up. And by the way, there's nothing more. I coach about 40 people because my time, I can only stretch it so far. This is what we use. And I have taken, I'll give you an example. I've taken a guy that I had started training 90 days ago. He was selling 13 cars a month. We started using this, he's out of Wyoming. We started using the same action planner, the same one that you're going to get. I started this with him. He doesn't print off a PDF. He wants to hold this in his hand. He carries it through the store. He carries it with him to work. He takes it home at night. He carries it everywhere he goes. Why? Because it holds him accountable. And by the way, at the end of the night, he takes a picture of it and he sends it to me so I can see it. I know where he's at. We don't have to talk. I can see his action in it as we go through it. But guess what? 90 days ago, he was selling 13 cars. He just busted 36 cars last month. And I'm going to tell you a story. This last month, he's probably, now obviously it's early March, he's probably on track to sell 26, 28 cars. It's about 8 cars less than last month. And the funny thing about it is, he quit using this for a week. He had a lot of family problems. He had some stuff going at home. He was grinding it. And that whole week, I just was like, hey man, where's your deal? He's like, I'm sorry, I've been really busy. I've been really busy. And he quit using it. And it was that Sunday, he sent me a text and said, hey, can we talk on the phone? I said, sure. So I called him. And he said, this last week, I sold 2 cars. I never had a 0 day since we've been using this. I've never had 0 days. I've been selling cars every single day. Everybody in my store has been complimenting how great I'm doing, how amazing, I'm doing. I'm gone to the next level. And I took it all into my head. And I thought that I could do it on my own and I didn't need to plan anymore. Anyways, he goes from selling 35, 36 cars a month, and he's down 10 now. Why? It's not because of me or not because of this. It's because our habits create our future. And this is the best habit you could ever have in your life. Okay? So with that being said, goals this week, you're going to put your dates right here. Okay? This would be like, so I got this right here, dates right here. This would be like from, March 10th to March, 17th. Okay? That would be the 7 days. And then it would say total money to make in those 7 days. It would be cars needed to be sold within those 7 days. It'd be at the target average commission per car, which obviously is something we want to talk about all the time. Okay? And then the total customers for the month needed to hit that target that week. And one of the last things right here, see at the bottom, it said, what is my why? Why am I doing this week? What are you working for this week? I want you to understand, when you work out your why and you figure out why you want to do it, you're going to kill it, man. It's freaking lights out. So every week you're going to write down your why. Very clear, a clear goal of why you want to kill it this week. You may work for something new every single week, and it may be a brand new why every week, why you want to crush it that week. Or it may be the same why, and you've made a 6-month plan, and now you're rewriting it every week. That's your why. And by the way, your why can change. but you have to keep it in front of you. Because successful people, 80% of why they're successful is they have a giant why, and they just need it and want it so bad that they just fight for it constantly. They have a fire in their belly and a desire to win, to hit that why. Why? And writing it down changes everything. And guess what? This is going to blow you guys away when you start doing it and doing it on the daily. Your habits will change, your life will change, your future will change. Okay? All right, now let's move to the meat and the potatoes of the planner. All right, so we're going to get into this. Let's move into this page right here. This page right here, this is going to be on the left side. It says, this is for time blocking, okay? It's the time allotted. You notice how it says here, 8 to 8:30 inventory walk, 8:30 to 9:30, post 10 cars on Facebook. Okay, you notice right here next to it, it says what your allotted time is, the action. You check it off when you're done. Okay, see that right there? And then over here on the end, you can put, it says crush it. Notice it says 13 right there. What was his goal? His goal was to post 10 cars on Facebook. He had 1 hour to do it, posted 13. You know what? You want to take and stretch yourself. This is about stretching yourself to new levels. With that being said, all these other slots during the day, I want you to start time blocking things that are priority, things that need to come first. If it's not a priority, it doesn't get done. Listen, I have a million things that I need to do. If it's not a priority, it goes to the back. The most important things, the things that make the most money, they go up front. It's real easy. And I put a time frame on them on how long I'm allowed to do it. So when it says here from 8:30 to 9:30, post cars on Facebook, let me explain this to you. I'm not posting cars at 9:31. At 9:30, my alarm's going off, and I'm done posting. If you only posted 6, then you're going to write there, I posted 6 cars. And then the next day, you're going to try to get 7 done. And then the next day, you're going to try to get 8 done. But I'm going to tell you, however many you get, that time blocking, when it's over, it's done. Okay? So let's start figuring how much time you're going to allot for this stuff and not waste time. There's no more time to waste. How much money are you worth an hour? It's all here. This is how we raise it. All right, at the bottom, I got the appointments for the day. See right there? It says right here, name, phone number, vehicle, notes. Those are the appointments that are coming in today. They're right there. All right, let's flip to the other side. You see where it says performance and outcome? These are hot deals. These are the people that you have not set appointments with, but that are sitting here and they're so close or ready to buy, or you feel like there's a deal. They stay in front of you, and every day you carry them over to the next day until they buy. No one can fall through the cracks. I know we have CRMs. I know it. I know it's the new generation age. I get it. I understand that. But there is something about rewriting it and writing it every day, and every time a new fresh leads come in, you put it on here and you write your appointment for the day. It embeds something inside of you that you're actually fulfilling your day, and you're doing it. And you're putting the work in. And you know you are, because you got this. You can't lie. Well, guess what? Underneath that, this is what I call daily outcome. This daily outcome is freaking awesome. This is where the money's at. So we have the goal. We have the clear goals that we wrote. We have the priorities. We blocked our time now. And at the very end of every night before you go home, this is what you're going to fill out. Okay? Daily outcome. And I put examples here and here to show you how to do the math. Okay? So number one, you want to write down how many hours you work that day, every single day. So this one right here, you see it says Sunday? This one's Sunday. Sunday, we would write how many hours we worked. How many hours did you work? I worked 10 hours. Okay. How much money did you make? You made $500. Okay, cool. So what I made per hour today would be $50, because you earned $500. You were at work for 10 hours and you were worth $50 an hour. Total customers that you took would be 4. The cars that you sold was 1. Your closing ratio right here, closing ratio would be 25%. Okay? because you sold 1 out of 4. Now you're learning how to gauge your closing ratio. You're learning how to keep track of the customers you take, and you know if you need to take more the next day. You know how much you're worth an hour. You honestly are identifying for the first time in your life truly how many hours that you're working each day. And then on top of that, I love it. What I crushed today. What did you kill it at today? Every day your goal is to go home and to be better than the day before the next day. So guess what? What were you better at? Did you do a better trade-in evaluation today that you rocked it? Did you go out and close and do a money justification first pencil? Did you do the best meet and greet you ever done in your life? Did a guy tell you there's no way in hell I'm buying today and I'm not going to buy and I'm not coming down there, and he's on the phone, he's like, there's no way in hell I'm buying, and you converted him, got him to come in and he bought? Did you get better on the phone? Keep track of your wins. Be grateful for what it is that you're doing. It's all right here, okay? This book is incredible. But guess what? Nobody gauges this. And by the way, you could screenshot this stuff. You could go make a little janky one of these by yourself. Why should you spend the money with me? Why should you do it? I'm going to tell you why. My cell phone, 918-210-0254. When you purchase one of these, you can always send me a picture of this and say, hey, Andy, this is what I did for the last 3 days. Can you tell me what to do next? I can't help you. I can tell you what to do next. I will help train you. I help train everybody. I want to see everybody make more money than ever. I don't need your $29. It doesn't mean nothing to me. You know what I need? I need you to, look, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you have the potential to make more money? Yes or no? Do you? If the answer is yes, why aren't you? It's this simple. I've designed this to keep you on track. I've designed this to bring the max potential out of you. I designed this so you can go get your best life right now. I designed this so that you're not like the other guys that you're around. You become a 1%er and become the best. Okay? All right. So with that being said, once you're done with that, this is going to go to Monday. It's going to go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then guess what? We're all the way to the recap point. Okay? See that right there? We're all the way to the recap point. The very last page, once you go through 7 working days, you're going to get to the recap page. This is where a lot of salespeople will skip because they don't manage themselves. Okay? If you want to become a great closer, you have to have buyer management. If you want to be a great seller, you have to have buyer, right? Or you have to have seller management, which is you. Okay? And this is a recap. So it says, right here, what did I learn this week in training? What did you learn this week? You need to identify that, because if you don't know what you learned this week in training, you're not getting better. You need to be able to specifically identify, okay, this week my goal was to get better at presenting the pencil. And when someone says the payment's too high, I want to be able to defend that and close that. That was my goal this week. This week, what did I learn from training this week? I learned how to defend the pencil and to learn and present the pencil, and I practiced it over and over. Beautiful. All right. What are 2 losses that I learned from this week? What were 2 losses that I learned from this week? Why is that important? Because people learn more and gain more from losses than they do from wins. When you win, you just go put your check in the bank. But when you lose, you have the ability to identify where you lost, and then so you can fix it. That's huge. I just want 2 examples. Where did you lose this week? That way we know. We win when we figure out what the failure was so we can fix it and it doesn't happen again. Okay? And then what was my biggest win this week? I want you to celebrate. Hey, I had a $13,000 deal on the front. That was my biggest win. Or maybe it was something crazy like, you took a lady who didn't have a car and, you helped her out and you just feel great about it. Okay? And it changed her life. And that was your win. Whatever it is, it's up to you. But I need you to be grateful. You have to, if you want to become better at selling, you have to come from a place of gratefulness. That's important. All right. Planning the week ahead. Okay? Right here. Next week, I will focus on improving these skills. Now listen, you're about to go into your next planner. Here's the beautiful thing. If you have 5 planners stacked up on a desk and you're like, man, where am I going? I don't know if I'm doing better, if I'm doing worse, if this is happening, how many customers I'm getting, what's my closing ratio. Yes, you do. You have all your planners. You go through 1 week at a time, and within 20 minutes, you will be able to identify truth and facts on how well you're doing. Without this planner, you cannot do that. So that is another reason why you need a planner. And it doesn't need to be a monthly planner, a weekly attack planner, and not just a planner, but a planner that helps you set up the day and win the day. And this does it. I built this for automotive salespeople, people that only sell cars. That's it. It's not built for anybody else. You can use a lot of this and take it into other businesses, but I built this for you. This is made for you. All right. And then you can talk about next week what I want to crush it at. And people don't plan to fail, they fail to plan. So you know what it is that you want to do. You know what it is that you did that week. And then you know what you need to do the next week. And guess what? You take this week, you put it to bed right at the front, right here. It's got your name, okay? You write right here the month that this was in, and then you write the dates, okay? And then you take it, and you put it in a safe place, and you start your next week. You open it again, and you start. And it holds you accountable through the whole way. And guess what? Your potential is to easily make 2 or 3 times more money than what you're making now. And I know that you want to acquire more skill, and I know that you want to become better at closing and negotiating and overcoming objections and word tracks and all that stuff and become the best salesman in the world, the best closer in the world. You want to learn how to prospect and bring 25 to 50 leads a day straight to your cell phone. But if you can't manage your time, you will not have enough time to make all that money because you're not setting your time up properly. You're not blocking it out. You're not setting specific, clear goals. This is made for our industry. So you can shoot me a text, 918-210-0254, if you already have the planner and you have questions. And then if you want to purchase it, it's real simple. Shoot me a text. You can buy it. I'll send you Cash App, PayPal, however you want to do it. And then guess what? I'll mail them to you.